Hey everyone, so tonight I'll be reviewing The Coworker by Frida McFadden. This was actually my first book by her, and I know people's opinions on this book aren't good, and they're not as good as some of her other books. I know that, but this is one that came out last year just, and about a woman who works in an office, and then she meets this woman, and she goes missing from her house, and becomes involved in a murder investigation, because the police suspect her of being involved and all this, and she has to prove her innocence. And also, there's a twist mid through the real that delves into the real relationship um between her and her coworker, and it has I know people say they don't really like this one. Um, and it's not a favorite of hers and whatever, but I didn't mind it as much because this was my first one by her, so and then um yeah, I mean, I liked it for what it was. I did think there was a bit too much about people complain about the turtles, talk about turtles too much and all that, but I don't really care, it was just the story was, alright, and all that was what I was more concerned with, um but it didn't feel quite like a Frida McFadden book I've come to know from reading more of hers. It didn't quite have that feel about it. But it was still, at the time that I read it, a good thriller. And it definitely isn't her best one or one of her best ones, but it is decent for what it is and decent for the premise and all. It wasn't what other people would classify as bad or unreadable or whatever. So, and yeah, if you're wanting to get into Frida McFadden or whatever, maybe this one would be a good starter one or whatever, because that was what it was for me. It was just like a starter one, because that was the first one I saw uh in the shop, and I just picked it up, and yeah, it was good for my first read because I didn't really know what to expect, and I didn't know anything about the author at the time and everything like that. But I just thought it was a good thriller, minus all the some of the talk about turtles and different things that was a bit annoying. But I did like the plot where it basically revolves around the co-worker um is murdered, or so they think, and the main character, she is involved in her murder, becomes embroiled in it and everything. So I did think it was an interesting enough concept, and I did enjoy it for what it was. So I wouldn't give this one a miss just because of people giving it bad reviews or or talking bad about it or anything like that. Um, I'd say it's a 3.5 out of 5. Normally I would give her at least a 4 or 4.5. But it wasn't quite as good as her other ones that I have read. But it was still a decent enough read. This was before I knew anything about her. I just picked up this book, and just all I was looking for was a thriller, whatever, mystery thriller, whatever. So that's what I got. So for what I got, I can't complain, because that is what I was looking for, the type of thing that I was looking to delve into, So, and I would say people can be overly harsh on the book. It's nowhere near as bad as what people make it out to be, and it was definitely readable from what I remember. And yeah, if you're wanting to get into her books or whatever, if you're getting into the thriller, mystery genre, any of that sort of thing, then yeah, I would recommend it for someone who isn't as familiar with those genres or wanting to get into them or whatever. Because it was quick enough, easy read for what it was like. So yeah, I would recommend it for that reason.